Take one. I am answering the question, ways I want to be remembered as your parent. I think it's different for each child. The way your brains work are different. You're each so individual and you have different ways of seeing the world. And I think that's really special. So I'm going to try and make this a general for each of you, and I might do an individual one. But when I think of you as my tribe of children and how I want you to see me, the first thing that comes to mind is I want you to see me as someone who loved you wildly, but with a love that saw who you were. My parents love me. I don't know that they love me wildly. Too much, one might say, because I'm probably more confident than I should be in their love and in the fact that I am lovable. But I don't know how well they knew me, and that's not their fault or my fault. I think it's just really a generational thing. With you, I want you to feel loved. I want you to remember me as loving, but I also want you to know that I loved you for who you are. The things, not only that I see, but the things that you tell me. And I hope you keep telling me who you are, because I'm really interested in it. I want you to remember me as someone who reminded you that life is the thing. Love is important, but life is the thing. And however you develop and create your life, make sure that it feeds you and make sure that there's room for it to keep feeding you. It's dangerous to limit yourself and to say, I am this forever, because we change. Life changes us. Life gets harder, it gets better, it gets warmer, it gets colder. And there's going to be a core of you, but I want you to remember me saying to you, leave room for joy and truth and beauty. Don't settle on one way to be. I want you to remember me as someone who felt the same way about herself, someone who was here for life, who got excited. I want to be 90 years old and have you guys show up with flowers and applesauce to feed me and to still feel excited by something. What kind of applesauce is this? Infused with what? I want you to remember me as someone who is always ready to be turned on by life. Always. Because it has changed so much since birth. I've gone sadder and happier and waves, but I always want to be ready and open to what it has to bring. I want you to remember me as someone who was full of flaws. I don't actually know where the camera is.
Just look at
Okay.
the phone.
I want you to remember me as someone who is flawed and who accepts that as part of life. Some of my flaws I don't want to change. I feel like they make me who I am, and they're not debilitating. But someone who is always willing to work on being happier. Sometimes that's through being better. Sometimes that's through being more selfish. Sometimes that comes through being more open to change. Sometimes it comes through being less open to change. But that whole work in progress thing. But the work has to be for me and not for what somebody else thinks I should be. I want you to remember me as someone who loved nature. That's a really big one. That should have come first almost. But being raised on the reservation and having that inner quiet space, I want you to remember me in the same way I remember my parents. Someone who gave you the gift of nature and that space that it provides. Wildness. You need that wild quiet inside. I'm sure there'll be more, but right now those seem like the most important things. I love you wildly. Remember that. But also remember the things that I want you to be for yourselves and no one else. The end.